Hi everyone, Salesforce Consulting and Admin Training, Day 7. Today our focus, what are we going to learn and what is the outcome of this session? Let's see the agenda. Quick overview of the previous one. And we'll talk about the list view. What is the list view? Where can we see the list view? What are the list view controller? Where can we see the list view controller and what are the options are available in the list view controller? And we'll see standard icons on the object in Salesforce, lightning experience, and what are the standard buttons on the object by default Salesforce is showing on the Salesforce lightning experience. And we'll see the demo, Salesforce demo on the list view controller, standard icon on the object and standard buttons on the object by default, whatever Salesforce is providing. Then today we'll talk about the Sales Cloud and what are the objects are involved in Salesforce Sales Cloud. And we'll talk about the opportunity and real-time scenario, one of the real-time scenario, and what are the default sales pipelines in Salesforce and where can we see that sales pipeline. And we'll have a quiz, today's interview session. Okay, the last session, we were discussing about the marketing cloud. We discussed the campaign, what is the campaign, how to create the campaign, and what is the lead from the how the lead gets generated, and converting the lead to the opportunity account contact, how to do the conversion, and what are the steps that we have to do when we are converting it, and what are the options will be available. Can I choose the existing opportunity? Can I choose the existing account? Can I choose the existing account? Contact, everything we have seen in the last session. So let's talk about the list view. What is the list view? List view is available only in the Salesforce Lightning experience. We cannot see in the classic. List view is nothing but data that you would like to see. So whoever is working on the Salesforce Lightning experience, whatever the data that they wanted to see on an object, I might be having 100 fields or 200 fields, but only I'm interested to see on the high level, only few fields I'm interested to see. So by using the list view, we can control and we can show that information. So list view is nothing but data that you would like to see. Now, where can we see the list view here? So whatever you see here, recently viewed is the one of the list view. If you click on this drop down button, you will see there are different standard list view icon. Also, we can standard list view options. Also, we can see. Also, we can create a new list view. Now, on the contact or on any object, you take any object. It's not specific to the contact. You take any object. In the object, whenever you see this option below the contact, you will see this one, recently viewed one. Recently viewed. And here there is an icon. So when you click on this icon, there is a drop down will be opened. And this drop down will show you the standard list view. If it is your new org. If it is a new org, it will show the standard list view. And also, if you have created any list view, along with the standard list view, it will show the custom also. Custom list view options also it will show. Now, how to create a list view? Now, here one of the option called setting gear icon. You see here gear icon. So beside the search this list, what are the gear icon is there? This gear icon is called list view controller. Whatever the setting or gear icon you see here, this is called list view controller. If you click on this drop down, you will see these options, list view controller. So when you click on this gear action, the setting or the gear icon, when you click on this arrow mark, you will see the list view controller. These are the list view controllers that you will see. By default, it will be shown. Okay, so here we have a different options. New is nothing but to create a new list view, to create a new list view. Clone is nothing but copy the existing list view and create a new list view with the different name, And rename is nothing but if you want to make a changes of this, it is showing as a recently viewed. Now, if you wanted to change contact recently viewed, or you wanted to change something else, we can rename the list view name. And then we'll have a edit list filter. We'll have a edit list filter. Sharing settings, right now we are not discussing anything related to sharing. So leave this part. Edit list filter. In case if you want to edit the filter. So based on the filter, the data will be displayed here, right? If you wanted to edit any filter, then what you can do is you can click on this edit list filter and then you can save it. What is the edit list filter here? Nothing but, for example, I wanted to see the contact. I wanted to see the contact name. Contact name starts with Shri. So if I search this, if I set up this, okay, contact name starts with Shri. So this is my filter. So what here, when we click on the edit filter, you can change it in case if you wanted to see the different information. So what you can do is you can make it. So here what I'm giving the filter, only I wanted to see the contacts that's the name starts with Sri. And I am not caring about any other contact. I wanted to see all the contacts, only the contacts that where the name starts with Sri or where the phone number starts with 88 or where the contact phone number contains 88. So that filter I'm going to apply here. So that means as soon as I apply the filter and click on save, I will see the contact records here only where the contact name starts with Sri, only those records I'll see. And the next one is select field to display. Now here, fields to display is nothing but what are the column, what are the fields that I wanted to see. Now here we'll have a 12 columns, 12 fields will be available, right? If I wanted to see only 4 fields data, select only 4 fields. Or if you wanted to see only 6 fields data, then select only 6 fields. So as soon as we click on that save button, then we will see here all the records. We will see the records, and for those specific field data, what are the field that we have selected here, only that particular field data we can see. Now next thing is the delete. If you want to delete the custom list view, you cannot delete the standard. You cannot delete the standard. You can delete the list view that are custom. That means you have created it. You have created it or your team has created it. So what are the custom list views are there? Those we can delete it. And standard we cannot delete. Now next one is reset column width. Reset column width. So by default, when you click on the contact object, when you click on the contact object, it will show the recent viewed option here. Below you will see all the rows. And then column certain width will be there, right? Certain by default, Salesforce will make it as a equal distance or equal width, it will make it. Now, if you have adjusted, like you have bought this, maybe you are not able to see the information here. So what you have done is you have reduced the width of this so that the everything will be moved this side and you can see the information. Now, if you wanted to change back to the normal width, what are the standard width is there? In that case, what you can do is you can click on reset. That means whatever it was there previously, just reset it, reset back to the original. That is the list view controller. This option is list view controller. Now, next, there are some more icons here. Whatever you see there. After the gear icon, you see this option. This is a display. This is a display icon. So that means what are the, like here, the records are showing. Now, which way you wanted to see the data? Which way you wanted to see the data? Table is nothing but rows and columns. Whereas Kanban is nothing but card specific, that you, every column, you will see the cards, right? Every row, there will be every row and every column, you will see certain cards. So basically, instead of showing in the rows and columns, what it will show? It shows as a card based on the status or based on the stage, or it will divide it automatically. So Kanban is nothing but a card-based view. Whereas split view is nothing but right now, when you go to the contact, you will see the contact record, right? Like here you will have a rows and columns. This is how it will be displayed. But as soon as you select a split view, what will happen here? The entire page is divided into two columns. Here you will see a break, right? So what is that break in a sense? This side, you will see small box where you have all the records. Now, whenever you click on a record, here what happens whenever you click on a record, when you have a rows and columns, it is redirected to the record, right? So for example, you have rows and columns, normal rows and columns. When you click on the record, when you click on this record, it will be redirected to the new page. And it shows all the contact information, and here all the fields, the data will be available. This is how you see in the Salesforce. But when you say split view is nothing but everything into the same page. Everything into the same page. What does that mean? This side, you will see the records. Now, when you click on this record, the record data will be opened here. The record data will be opened here, and it will show fields and data, all the information it will show. All the information it shows. Now, there are more icons here. The first icon is a refresh button. If you wanted to refresh the list view, then click on this icon called refresh. And there is an inline editing icon. It is available on the each record, as well as inline editing is available on the object level also. Now the next one is a chart. That means whatever the data it is showing here, if you wanted to see the data in graph format, some graph, I wanted to see in terms of graph, then select this, and this is the filter. Whatever the filter you wanted to apply, click on this here, the filter. Now also there are some standard buttons on the contact. New is nothing but, you know that new is nothing but creating a new record. Creating a new record. Whenever you wanted to create a new record on any object, you click on the new button. Now next one is import. Import is nothing but you wanted to import a certain data. You want to import a data into the Salesforce, right? So we will see more of this information import when we are doing the data loader. During that time, we will see. Right now, this button is what it will does. It is to import the data from local system to Salesforce. Now, on the contact, you will also see add to campaign. On the contact as well as the lead, you will see new this button on the contact as well as the lead. When you go to the lead or when you go to the contact, you will see add to campaign from the contact. So in case if you are in the contact or in case if you are in a lead and you have a separate list view that you have created, and as you are in the contact, you wanted to select the contact information and click on the add to campaign. Which are the campaign you wanted to add the contact, you can add it. The next one is send list view. This is a mass email. It could be a mass email or it could be a single email also. For example, if you have checked only single record, that means you will be sending an email to a specific record. Or if you have selected more than one record, 10 records, 5 records, 6 records, then that means you are sending email at a time to more than one users or one record. And then we'll have a print view. This is nothing but if you wanted to print the data that whatever you are seeing here in the rows and column. What are the data you are seeing in the print view in the rows and column? If you would like to print and take it into the paper or you wanted to store that information, you can do that, right? So let's go ahead and see that information how to do. Now let me log into the Salesforce. Okay, so let's go back to the app launcher, click view all, marketing cloud. Now here, contact. I clicked on the contact object. As soon as you click on the contact object or account object or a lead object, most of these information you will be able to see. Most of these information, whether it is a account or a contact, okay, maybe add campaign, you might not be able to see in the account, but if you go to the lead also have the icon, list view, and the search list, this gear icon, and this is the display as refresh, inline editing, and the chart filter. See, new import, add to campaign is also there on the lead. These are the different information you will be able to see. So let's understand each one of them. Now, first one, how to create a list view. How to create a list view. Now, I'll click on this. Right now, you are seeing everything is a disabled. All the whatever the options are there, it is disabled. Why? Because right now we are in recently viewed. Recently viewed list view is provided by Salesforce. Provided by Salesforce. If you select the custom one, then automatically what you will see, there is a enable. Now, if you select all contacts, what will happen if I select a all contact? You can see this information, right? You can see this information. Now, for example, I wanted to create a new one. I wanted to create a new one. Click on a new. When you click on a new button, you will see a window called New List View. When you click on a new option there, you will see a new list view. Now, I'll give a name of this contact is Dell account. Dell account. And the API name is auto captured. Based on the whatever the value you are giving here, the API name is auto captured, and wherever the space is there, it will be added underscore. Wherever the space you have, it will be added underscore. Now, here it will ask 3 options. Who is this list view? Who sees this list view? That means right now you are creating a list view. Now, Salesforce asking what are the list view that you are creating a Dell account? Who all should be seeing this list view? Who all should be seeing this list view? Only you, whoever is created, only that person should see, or all the users can see, or else whenever I share a record, whenever I share I share the contact information, only that group should be shared, right? Only that group should be able to see this list view. Wherever you see the sharing option, we are not going to focus on the sharing right now. We will see these sharing options whenever the topic comes. Now here just understand who all can see, only you can see, or all the users in the OR can see, or do you wanted to share this list view with a specific group? Do you want to share with a specific group? Right? When you say specific group, it is a more information it is going to ask. This part we will see later. Now let's assume that I wanted everybody to view this list view because this is the requested by client. Client provided the information they wanted to see new list view called Dell account. They wanted to see Dell account list view here. So we are creating a Dell account for clients. Click on a save. As soon as you click on a save, by default, you will see all 31 items. If you go to the all contacts also, you will see all 31 items. How many are there? 31 items sorted by name and filtered by all contacts, right? So 31 items are there. Now, if you go to yours, whatever the Dell account is there, Dell account also you are seeing the 31 items. Why? Because we just created the list view. I have not applied any filter. By default, Salesforce will give you the filter by owner, my contacts. Filter by owner, my contacts. Now you edit this, right? I wanted to see all contacts, right? No, but I don't want it. This is fine, all contacts, but I wanted to add more filter here. When I say more filter, so basically on the contact, we have an option called account name. Right? It should be name. Account name, API name is name equals to. I can give a different operators here. I can give different operators. Equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, contains, does not contain, starts with. I can give any option here based on our requirement. Now I'm saying that I need exact information, or else if I say contains, no, wherever the name contains Dell, show me those information. Only show those records. Now, if I click on done, that means it has a one by default, right? One is provided by Salesforce. And the second one is we have created. If I click on a save, so list view is applied. Now contains Dell does not have anything. Why it is not having anything here? Why? I gave the name equal to
Account name. I think we have to select account name.
account name. Okay. And I'll click on save. Only it is showing 3. Does it have only 3 information? 3 are there, all contacts. Let's sort. Yes, there is only 3 are there. Right? Now I want Dell account. I'll add another condition where I'll say account name equal to I'll say Infosys. Done. Right? Let's save it. Let's give contents. Why it is not giving me right now? Because I have given the 2 conditions. System is got confused. System got confused. Why? Because I'm saying here it is saying that account name equal to Dell. And also I'm giving a AND condition here. And account name equal to Infosys. Now, what is the AND means? AND means I need both the information here. I need both the information. So usually record does not have a both the information. Now what I have to do, I have to go to the add filter logic. Instead of a add, I'll say or condition. Show me 1 or 2, which are the one you wanted. Now, right now, do you see here? You will see Dell and you will see Infosys. Total 6 records. So filter logic. Now here, this is the add filter. Filter logic is nothing but which you have to decide whether you want a AND condition or a OR condition. You want both conditions should be satisfied, then only show me the record. Or if either of one condition is satisfied, then also show me the record. I'm not worried about both should be, has to match. If you say 1 and 2, that means both record has to be matched. That means one record should have a Dell and Infosys. Now, whereas I'm saying here either 1 or give me either 2. Or condition, this is simple logic, 1 or 2. Now I clicked on a save. Where are we doing here? We are doing on the filter. We are doing on the filter. Now, new one we have created. If you wanted to clone, just click on the clone. And which are the one you wanted to copy, right? For example, I wanted to copy the all contacts. I wanted to copy all contact information and then create a new one. So first select the list view, then click on a flow. So that what will happen is it will by default take whatever the configuration or whatever the setup it has on the all contact. It will take entire configuration and it will try to create a new one. It will try to create a new one. Now that is the clone. And the second option which we have is rename. Now, instead of Dell account, now I wanted to say Dell and Infosys. Dell and Infosys I wanted to say. Now here observe, when I'm changing it, API name does not change. API name does not change. That means while creating whatever the API name that is we are providing in the label, initially when we create a list name, during the creation of itself, it takes the API name. After that, if you change the label name also, it doesn't affect. You can change the label name as you want, but the API name is always the one which we have selected for the first one. So Dell account. Now here it says who sees this list view, basically who all can edit and view it. All users can see this list and they can also edit. Now next one, for example, I'm clicking on the edit list filter. When I click on the edit list filter, it goes back to the filter. It goes back to the filter and it will give the options. Now the next one is select fields to display. If you click on a select fields to display, it will ask what are the fields that you wanted to see. These are the available fields on contact, but what all visible, these all will be visible. Now, for example, I wanted to see the department, select the department and bring the department after the account name. Now, again, I wanted to see, let's take lead and postal code. I wanted to see the postal code. So bring that on up. Let's click on a save. So it's applied. Now, who all are doing this? When what you are doing here, I'm just clicking on this option and changing this and selecting the field and moving that field to the visible field and clicking on the save. So when I click on the save button here, what happens? It goes back to the logic. Who has written the logic here? In order to, if I click on a save button, what are the fields that I have selected? Those all fields should be displayed here. So who has written that logic? Logic is written by the Salesforce. Logic is written by the Salesforce. So it will execute that logic, and when I click on a save button, it goes to the Salesforce and it executes the logic and it comes back to the list view is updated. Now I can see the department, I can see the mailing zip, I can see the title, right? So what are the information that we want? Now here, how many records I can see? 6 records, 6 items, sorted by name, filtered by all contacts, account name. What we have filtered by account name. When it is updated a few seconds ago, it is updated. Now, for example, now I wanted to reduce this. I'm reducing this one and I'm reducing this one and I'm reducing this one. I'm trying to play with this width of the each field, because some has less information, some has a more information. Once you are done with the playing it, and if you wanted to reset back to the whatever the column width is there, just click on this reset. When you click on the reset column width, it will be reset back to the original, how the Salesforce is showing it. How the Salesforce is showing here the information. Now that is this list view controller. That is the list view controller. The reset column width is disabled by default. By default, disabled. But if you try to do some configuration, then immediately it will enable. Immediately reset column width is enabled. Now display as table is nothing but rows and columns. Kanban is nothing but which is displayed in the form of card. Now here it will ask, do you want a separated by a lead source? Do you want to separated by contact owner? Do you want to separated by level? So contact owner, if I say, everything will be displayed because I'm the one who is doing all the information. Now let's take it as a level. When I say level, what will happen here? It will take none, secondary, tertiary, primary. So by default, Salesforce will take the information. Right? If you wanted to see in the split view, the page will be divided into the two columns. If I click on this, Archana, so what happened here? The data will be opened here. The data is opened here in the same one. If I click on a Balaji, it will be redirected to Balaji. If I click on a Manjunath, it will be redirected here. So how this is happening? Because we have selected the split view. But if it is a table view, what happens if I click on an Archana? It is redirected to the detailed page. It is redirected to the detailed page. Now, whichever is the comfortable for you or a client, based on that, select a split view. If it is comfortable for you, split view, see all the information here and click on the record, then you see information here. Switching the information back to the new record. If you wanted to see these all information, then better choose the split view. If you want, on clicking on this, it should redirect to the contact, then you can choose that as a table. So if you choose the table, it will be redirected to the new record. Now, this is a refresh button. This is a refresh button. If something happened here, I wanted to see what is the count. I made a changes here. So you just refresh it. When you click on a refresh, it is refreshing the specific list view. It is refreshing the specific list view. Observe here. Let me refresh on top. When I refresh on top, what is happening here? It is icon, contact, Dell and Infosys list view account. Now, if I refresh this one, what happens? Same, right? Doesn't change, but it is, see here, refresh this list view, the latest data. Whatever the data is there, it will be refreshed. Now, this is edit inline icon. Every record, every field has a inline editing. You can edit here and update it. For example, you wanted to highlight this. Okay, you wanted to highlight. And if you wanted to edit, either you can click on this edit or you can click on this edit. So what will happen? You can edit the information. For example, I have highlighted this and click on the edit icon. So I can make a changes. As soon as I make a changes, below the save and cancel button is displaying. So either I can save it or cancel it. Now graph, the chart one. Okay, so here the chart is, if you wanted to see based on the, it will give the options contacts by account or contacts by lead source. So you choose it. Here we have chosen the account. So 3 are Infosys, 3 are Dell. So this is how the graph will be displayed. If you hover it, it will display more information. This is the 50%, this is the 50%. Now, for example, if you want to create your own chart, click on this setup. If you click on this setup, then you can change vertical bar, you can change it. Or if you wanted to change into horizontal, you can change into horizontal. If you want to change into donut, then you can change it. Now, if you want to create a new chart, that means new chart in a sense, here we have two options, contact by account, contact by lead source. But I'm looking at something different. Now let's go ahead and create. Now I wanted to see group by account, contact. I wanted to see by group by first name. Okay. Here, I'll say group by first name. Group by first name. So I'll save this. What will happen? Here it is. One more option is added here. Group by first name. So what are the first names are there? It will come. Archana Shri has a first name, but rest all are does not have a first name. So it is not specified. Only the last name is mentioned. So you can create whatever the way you want here, the graphs, you can do that. If you select a contact by lead source, we have a different lead source, phone inquiry, not specified, and the web. How many contacts came via phone inquiry? How many contacts came from web? How many contacts are not specified? So you can see all the information here. So this is about the icons. Whatever the icon we see here, these icons does not change. Wherever you go, the icons are same. Icons are same. Wherever you see, the icons are same. Now, when you go to the recently viewed, then you will see these are the disabled. When you go to the some of the standard list view, that time the chart, this filter will be disabled. Now, whenever I click on the lead, do you see by default I am coming to the recently viewed. And when I click on the contact by default, I am landing onto the recently viewed. But I want default, it should go to the Dell and Infosys account. I do not want to land on recently viewed. How can we do it? Select this. And here you see the pin option. Click on this pin view. What will happen? This is nothing but you pinned it. So wherever you go to the campaign, lead, opportunity, and come back to the contact. By default, it will be Dell and Infosys. Because whatever is the pinned one is there, by default, you will be landed here. If you log out and log in back also, you will be landed onto the Dell and Infosys account. If you remove this, if you unpin this, that means you don't want to. Whenever somebody click on the contact, then you do not want to by default show this page. In that case, just unpin it. Now those are the different icons. Now let's go back to the buttons, standard buttons. These are the Salesforce standard buttons. By default, it is showing on the page. By default, it is showing on the object. Whenever you click on an object, whenever you click on any object, by default, it is showing the new button. By default, it shows the send list review. By default, it shows the some of the options here. Now, how can you control? For example, client says that new button. New button is nothing but, it's nothing but to create a new contact. Right? New button is nothing but to create a new contact manually. Now client says that I do not want to create manually because we are creating every time contacts from lead. So I do not want here new button because if my team sees this new button, what they will do is they will click on this new button and they will play with this. So I do not want to see this information. How can we control this information? How can we control these buttons? How can we control what are these, what are the buttons that I should show on the specific object? So go to setting, click on edit object. Click on edit object. So you will be landed onto the contact. Here you see list view button. List view button layout. Click on this list view button layout. Now, click on this arrow one, click on edit. Now here, standard buttons. This will tell what are the buttons that needs to be displayed on the object. If you uncheck this, right? If you uncheck and save it, you will not see the new button. Let's see. Perfect. Let's refresh. New button has gone. No, I do not see the new button. As per the client requirement, they do not want to see the new button. So where did we went? We went to the contact object, list view, button layout. List view, button layout. But observe this. When you click on this, list view button layout, where you are landing, list view button layout. But when you click on edit, and you make some changes and click on a save button, where are you landing back? You are landing back onto the search layout. You are landing back onto the search layout. So be careful with this list view button layout. If you click on the list view button layout, it will be landed onto the list view button layout. But if you click on edit, right, if you make any changes and if you click on a save button, it will go to the search layout. It will go to the search layout. So just observe, do not keep on editing this. If you edit this search layout, what you will see? You will see the different options. You will see the different options. So just be careful when you are doing this list view button layout. Only it will display when you click on it. But once you saved it, it will goes to the search layout. Some option called search layout, it will go. Right? So now we have enabled it. So new button is nothing but to create a new record on any object. Right? When we click on a new button, Salesforce is, when we click on new button, what happens at the back end of this button? Salesforce has written the logic. What is the logic it has written? The logic it has written, go and look at the URL. Go and look at the URL. Go and look at the URL. What is the object they are in? The object is contact. If you go to the contact, if you go to the opportunity, it will be opportunity. If you go to the lead, it will be lead object. If you go to the contact, it will be contact object. So whenever you click on this new button, it will see which object you are in. So based on that, whenever we click on that, what will happen? It will show only that object related a new information, only related to that object. Whatever the fields are there within that object, it will show those fields here. Either I enter the mandatory information, click on save, right? So that's how the new button works. Now let's click on import. Import is nothing but if you want to import bunch of records, if you want to import bunch of records, the contact records you wanted to import, which are there in the, which are sitting in the local system. In your computer, there is a file that contains the contact information. Instead of you are entering and clicking on new button, entering all those information, instead of doing the manual step, you wanted to import this. You wanted to import the entire data so that at a time, all the records will come and sit here. Now it has a three process: choose the data, edit mapping, start import. Now we will show you this during the data load or whenever we are playing with the data load time. But right now I just wanted to give you the information. Here, when we clicked on the import, what happened? It came back to the this screen. This screen has a choose data, edit mapping, start mapping. So here you select account and contacts. Whether you wanted to add a new record or update an existing record or add a new and update existing record. Now, for example, I just wanted to add a new record. So I do not want to make any changes. So in that case, it will ask, do you have a CSV file in your system? Or is it an Outlook CSV? Or is it an Act CSV? Is it a in Gmail CSV? Right? So these options we will see later, or you can directly drag the CSV file here. Right? So this is the option. For now, let's understand only at the high level. So import is nothing but I'm importing the data from different place to the Salesforce, either from local system or from Outlook or from Gmail or different place. Now, add to campaign. Add to campaign, what will happen if I select this one option? Okay. Now, just now I created a contact. Let's go ahead and create a contact. Let's say that contact name is Vivita. And there is no other mandatory information. I click on a save. Now, does that record shows here, Sipita? I
No,
just
because not any
No, it's not showing.
why
account details edited added.
Dell company, yes.
yes.
Account details added.
So whatever the record I have created, here I need to select either Infosys or Dell. Let's click on a save button. Now go back to the Dell and Infosys. Now you see here there is a Sipita option came. Now for example, I wanted to add this Sipita in the campaign. Now instead of you switching to the campaign, just select the contact and click on the add campaign. When you click on the add campaign, it will show what are the different campaigns that you wanted to add. For example, I wanted to add iPhone 14 Hyderabad, right? So member sent or responded. I'm selecting the send. Now keep the member status or override the member status. I wanted to keep the member status. Let's click on it, submit. Now I have added it. Perfect. Now what I'll do is just to cross verify, I'll go to the campaign. Which one I have added? iPhone 14 Hyderabad. Now I'll go back to the related list. Now do you see 5 members here? Now I'll click on a view all. Is Sipita there here? Yes, Sipita is here. So you can add directly from the contact to the campaign. Now here, send list email. For example, I wanted to send email to Sri Lakshmi, Archana and Manjunath. Now I'll select all 3 of them and click on a send list email. Now automatically it will capture the 3 recipient Dell and Infosys account. 3 recipient automatically it will capture. Now here, if you observe, in the developer edition, we can only send 10 limits. You can send only 10 out of 10 emails. Once it reaches to the 10, you will not be able to send the email. You will see an error, send limit exception. So here, if you hover this icon, your or can send list emails to 10 recipient per day. It is per day. If you wanted to know more about it, click on the below option, learn more about the other products. If you click on this, what is the other products? It's not going. Okay, that's not working. Okay. So basically, developer edition is having a 10. Developer edition is having 10 emails. We can send 10 emails to 10 recipients per day. Whereas unlimited has a different option and professional edition has a different option. When the email topics comes, we will discuss about the emails. But right now, remember that developer edition, you can send only 10 emails per day. If you are getting an error, send a limit exception, send list email exception. That means you have already reached the Garner limits of the developer edition. So developer edition is given for just for the playing it. So you will not, so you can only send 10 emails. Now here, for example, if I write here the information and say that hello, and I can enter what are the informations are there. I can enter and I can click on send. I can click on send. But here, one more option. When you click on this, what is happens? Send later. Now, that means I wanted to create a draft email. I wanted to create a draft email, and that draft email should go on specific time. That means I wanted to schedule a email to go midnight. I wanted to send an email at the midnight, but I do not wanted to wake up till, I do not wanted to woke up, wait for the till 12 o'clock or till 2 o'clock or till 3 o'clock and just sending an email. I should not be sitting at the in front of system, right? So for that, what we can do is we can click on a send later option. If you click on a send later option, what will happen here? It will ask, what time you want me to send? It is asking the date, time, time zone. Date, time, time zone. Now, right now, it is a January 17th, 8 a.m. PST. This is a US time zone. Okay, so for example, I'll say that 18 tomorrow I wanted to send tomorrow 8 a.m. So probably before the session 7:30 a.m. Okay, 7:30 a.m. I wanted to schedule it, send it. I wanted to schedule and send this. Now let's click on it, save. What happened here? Scheduled for Jan 18, 2023, 9 p.m. GMT. 9 p.m. GMT plus 5:30. So probably tomorrow you guys will be receiving it. So I'll say that, hi, this is test email for send later option. Thank you. I'll say no. No, I can click on send later. What happened here? If I click on send later, it will automatically, it will not send. You will not be receiving the email right now. You will be receiving the, see here, list email is queued. You are not receiving right now. You will not be receiving any email right now. It is in the queue. It is in the queue. You will be receiving it whenever I send an email, whenever the time is scheduled. Whatever the time is scheduled, during that time you will receive an email. Right? You won't be sending it. So you can schedule the emails and keep it in the queue, and whenever you wanted to send it, midnight or tomorrow or whatever time. So it is similar like a alert message. For example, if somebody has to pay or you have to remind somebody about the birthday or about the anniversary, or you wanted to greet them. So in that case, what you can do is you can schedule a email, right? You can schedule on that day, specific time, and write the email, send later. So that what will happen? It will sit in the queue till the point, till the date, till the time, whatever the time you have mentioned, till that point, it will be sitting in the queue. As soon as it hit the time and the date, it will send an email automatically. This happens at the back end. Automatically, it happens in the back end. Now, for example, now I'm giving the, okay, I have opened the Sibita account. I have opened the Sibita account. Now, here also we have an email option. Here also we have email option, right? This is on the specific record. If you go to the record, and then you can see the option called email. You can see the option called email. So here we do not have an email. So I'll schedule, I'll say here email. Let's say which. Now click on the email. Okay. So if the email option is email data is there, then it will take automatically. If you do not have an email, to address will be empty. Now, for example, I'm sending the information to Sibita. That is my Samskar ID Gmail. Hi, testing the email. Okay, I'll send it. I'll click on send button. If you want, you can attach image or you can add files attachment, you can do, right? You can insert a merge fields, or you can insert, create, update template, whatever the template you wanted to use it. Existing template, you can use the existing template. What is the template? We'll see whenever we are discussing the email topic here. So here I just wanted to show you one thing. So for example, I'm sending the information. Okay, I'll click on it, send button. When I click on a send button, the email goes out to that particular, whatever the email address is there, it will be, it is went to this person. Now here, observe this, right? The history the history here, you see that 6:36 a.m. today, we have sent an email. But what is the option you see here? Unopened. The user has not yet opened, not yet read your email. Not yet read your email. It is similar like in the WhatsApp. When you send a message to a person, there is a checkbox, gray color checkbox or a blue color checkbox. Blue color checkbox means the person has read the text message. Similarly, Salesforce has the option called if the person has not yet reviewed. If the person is not yet reviewed, means it will still in the unopened. It shows here unopened. That means the person has not yet reviewed it. If I refresh, let me refresh it. Till the person opens the email, the status does not change. The status does not change. I have not clicked on the email. I have not clicked on the email. Still it is showing the unopened. Now I'll click on this. Now I have opened it. Right? Let's refresh. Now what happened here? Last opened a few seconds ago. When they have opened a few seconds ago. Because just now we have done it. Just now we did it, right? Just now I have opened the testing the email. Right? So just now I have opened it. Now it keep on increasing the seconds so that later also if you wanted to cross verify, when the person has viewed it, everything you can cross verify. You can cross verify. After 1 hour, if you come, it will be, see here, right now it is changed to a minute ago. From the seconds to a minute ago. So that the time is keep on updating here. So we can see when the person has viewed my email, right? So based on this, if you feel that the person has viewed my email 2 weeks back, but still they have not responded, go ahead and send one more email saying that I have sent an email 2 weeks back. This is a reminder email. Can you please respond to the previous email? You can send the response. So this will give the clarity what is happening on the email. Now, is everybody clear on this, whatever we have seen this section? This one. Icon, standard. Now the next one is printable view. Printable view is nothing but, for example, this is the data. It is in the system. It is in the system, right? So basically you wanted to take a print. You wanted to take a print and then you wanted to view the data. So what you can do is you can click on a printable view. So what will happen? It goes to a new page, which is the format of how you wanted to print. Now you can select number of records. If you want 250 records, if you want 7 records, you can check this. Right here, either you can close the window or you can print this page. If you click on a print this page, it will give you, if you have a printer, you can connect the printer, or if you wanted to store it as a PDF, you can store in the PDF, or if you wanted to see more options, you can see. So it's similar like how we do the print option. So that's the same options in the print. So you can print it and you can do whatever the work is there, you can do it on the paper. Right, so now let's close this window. Let's come back here. Okay. Is this clear about this one? Whatever we have discussed this part.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's move on.
One thing.
Let's- Yes.
Actually, I'm having one. I need one tip, like when to go object manager and when to go app manager, because I'm really confused between these two things.
App manager.
And
Okay.
object manager. So usually when we prefer.
If you want to check what are the fields are there. For example, account name is here. But if you wanted to check what is the field API, what is the API name of this? And I also wanted to see what are the fields in this object.
Okay.
And I wanted to know what is the layout, how the layout is built, and how these buttons are coming, how this data is coming, what are the fields. If, for example, let's take a fields itself. If I wanted to see, apart from this, is there any fields that we have in the contact object? Either you can click on a edit object or click on a setup and then go to the object manager. If you click on the edit object, what will happen is you are redirected to the same object within the object manager. You will be in the object manager. It is automatically redirected to the same object. And you can see what are the fields we have here. What are the fields we have? Account name, field API is account ID. Now you can see how many fields we have it here. So if you wanted to know more about the fields, layouts, buttons, in that case, you have to come to the contact.
Okay.
In case if you do not want to click on edit object, right? Then what you can do, what will happen if you click on a setup? If you click on a setup, it is redirected to the object manager. It is redirected to the here home, and then you have to click on object manager, then search for your object, contact, search for this and click on it, where you have to do multiple clicks when you come from the setup. But when you click on the edit object, directly it will be landed here. Directly it will be landed onto the same object.
Okay, Swapna. Thanks.
Sapna, I have question related to list view. Suppose if I develop any custom list view for users and I want to disable few of the buttons, so user cannot edit those list view. How I can disable that?
You mean the permission, that the one?
Yeah, I want nobody can change column settings or maybe filter criteria except me, but other people can use it.
Okay. So that option, this is the select field to display, edit the list filter. This is the list filter. Here you do not have, but if you go to the classic, okay, there should be one option here, but I'm not able to see that. But if you go to the classic, switch to classic, go to the contact and select that. Beside this option, you will see edit. So if you wanted to change the option visible to all users back to the only me, you can save it. You can change here.
No, here it's like this list only I can see, other people cannot see. But my requirement is I can see, other people can also see, but only I can edit that list view. Because this is common requirement for reporting purpose.
So you mean to say everybody has a access to view this list, but edit should be applied to only you.
Correct, right.
Okay. So edit, you cannot restrict. This option is basically, it will give who all are can see and who all are can edit.
Okay.
So if you do not, for example, let's take, if you have a profile, the read only option, or still they can able to edit it. But I don't think so we can restrict the edit option here for the list view. But
Okay.
you can see who has modified here, the last modified person in the classic.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go back to the slide. Sales Cloud. It's a Sales Cloud. What is sale? What is mean by sale?
Selling a product or service.
Whatever the product to be sold.
What are the product to be sold? Okay, what is sale?
A business.
Business, no. What is the sale? Anybody? What is sale? When do we do the sale?
Acquire the customer and sell the product and services or whatever company is offering.
Okay. Deal between the seller and buyer. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other?
Promoting their business.
Promoting the business. That doesn't come in the sales. That is the marketing step.
Okay.
What is sale? So sale is nothing but it's definitely between the seller and buyer. So what is exactly sale means? For example, I'm selling some product. I'm selling a product, or I'm selling course, or I'm selling washing machine. I'm selling a product. When I sell a product, I'm expecting the return value, right? The person who is giving the product free doesn't call a sale. If I'm giving a product free of it, it doesn't call as a sale. Why do I do the sale here? Because I need a return. I need return something. I'm selling some product. Return, I'm getting some amount. Right? So basically sale is nothing but exchange of a product or a services. In return of a value is called sale. When we are selling the product, in return, I'm expecting some amount. I'm expecting an amount. Like we are exchanging. We'll give you product. You are giving me money. Nothing but we are exchanging it. I'm giving you a product, but I do not want a money, but I'm looking for a job. Also sale. Return need not to be money, or return need not to be product, return need not to be services, anything. So exchange of product in return of a value of service. So return should not be a product. Don't expect the return as a product. Don't expect the return should be a value or it can be a service. No, return could be anything. For example, I'll give you this land. I will give you some land. Okay. I'll give you land, but in return, I need a job. I need a job as a CEO position. Or I need a job, I need a MLA ticket. I'm selling the land, but in return, what I'm expecting is not money, some position. I'm expecting a position, CEO or MLA, right? So basically, we are exchanging the product, exchange of a product or a service in return of a value. Whenever I get a return of that particular product, if I'm selling any product and I'm getting a return of some value to that, that means it is called sale. That means it is called sale. Now, so this is exactly, so this person is selling the product, in return, the person is getting the amount. So which is nothing but a sale. So in Salesforce, Sales Cloud consists of 7 objects. During the Sales Cloud process, what are the process we have into the Sales Cloud? The Sales Cloud consists of 7 objects. That means in entire this flow, Sales Cloud entire flow we will be touching the 7 objects. First one, opportunity and product, price book, quotation. First we will get the opportunity for the product, and for that product we will be seeing doing the price book, and we will do the quotation, and then we will order and contract. We'll get a contract, and then we'll give a final invoice to the customer or to the stakeholders. Opportunity, product, price book, quotation, order, contact, invoice. These 7 objects, all these 7 objects together it is called Sales Cloud. Together it is called Sales Cloud. Whenever we are into the Sales Cloud, whenever you are working on the project called Sales Cloud, if you are working on a project called Sales Cloud, means you are using the object called opportunity, you are using the object called product, you are using the object called price book, you are using the object called quotation, you are using the object called order, you are using the object called contract, and you are using the object called invoice. All these 7 objects, you will be touching it in the Sales Cloud. All these 7 objects together is called Sales Cloud. In the Sales Cloud, we will be using all these 7 objects. Complete selling has been controlled by these 7 objects. That means with these 7 objects, we can control the selling process. We can control the selling process. Now let's see step by step each one of them. First, we will see in detail about the opportunity. First, we will see opportunity. Now, what is the opportunity? Opportunity is nothing but any prospective deal. Any prospective deal are called opportunity. Any prospective deal are called opportunity. Now, let's take a real-time example. Let's take a real-time example. Bank loan. Okay, this is a usual scenario we will be seeing in our day-to-day. So whenever bank is selling a product, that means what is the product here? They are selling loan. Here the product is loan. That means whenever bank is offering a loan is a product here. They are selling it to the customer. They are selling it to the customer with a 10% interest rate. With a 10% interest rate. Bank is giving the loan for the 10% interest rate. Now, how this flow starts? Whenever we reach out a bank or whenever the bank member reach out to us for the regarding the loan, what happens from the starting to end? There might be some process, right? There might be some process. Initially, they will discuss the initial discussion. The initial discussion is nothing but if I call a bank, okay, if bank calls me, what we will do, we will have a first time we are connecting with the person. First time we are connecting with the person. So they are also first time talking to us. Bank is also first time talking to the customer. So initial discussion is nothing but how much loan you are looking for it. That is the first question they will ask. What is the loan? How much you are looking for a loan? And then they will ask which company you are working, which company you are working, and what is your salary. They will ask which company you are working, what is your salary, and how long you are working in the same company. Are you stable or are you switching to the different companies in last 6 months? They will check all those information, right? And also what is the salary they will ask, especially the take home salary, right? After deduction, whatever is there, they will ask everything, take home, they will ask. Then finally, they will ask, what is the purpose of a loan? Why you wanted to apply a loan, right? So if I say that I wanted to visit Paris, I wanted to go for a vacation. So I need loan for the vacation. I wanted to visit Paris. So that's the reason I'm applying for a loan. Now they will say that, okay, no problem. You have a very high paid salary. So whatever you are expecting, assume that 4 lakh loan. So 4 lakh loan can be possible, we can give you. They will say, this is what happens initial discussion. And they will say that, okay, we will send a executive to your house or your office. Now next day, the person will visit. This is the visit, right? During the visit, there is a lot of information they collected, right? And after that, they will try to understand. The person has visited to meet the customer. Now, we are face to face. That means the bank person and the customer are sitting face to face. Now, the bank person is trying to gather more information from that person, right? So especially if the bank person is like a though we are going for a Paris for the location visiting, but he might suggest, why don't you go for UK, why don't you go for US, we can offer more loan, you can take a more loan. That kind of a discussion might happen. So they might influence the other members and they will try to convince the person to visit multiple places. So these all understanding happens, right? They will try to understand the requirement. If the person is able to convince, they will give more options to the bank person. So finally, they will get all the requirement, everything they will capture from the client or customer. Now, after all the discussion, they will collect the documents. They will collect all the documents. What are the documents are there? They will collect everything. Now they will submit these documents in the bank. They submit these documents in the bank. So bank will review the documents and they will For example, they will approve saying that, okay, I have all the documents are verified. Now loan has been approved. Loan has been approved. So approval of loan is released. So once it is approved, then the loan will be released. Loan will be released. Then what they will do? They will close that particular case, right? They will close that particular case saying that this person has taken the loan. Now there is another section will start monitoring about this person, whether paying or not. That is a different story. Here, this whatever we have to give a loan, whatever the person, the executive is there, whatever his work is there, his work is done, his process is done. Giving a loan to person is a done. So either they will close it in case if there are any issues during the documentation review or during whenever they are discussing with the person, if the bank person does not feel that this person might not pay monthly, if you feel anything, then what will happen? It goes to closed lost. It goes to closed lost. That means they will not approve the loan. They will not approve the loan. So if they have not approved the loan, then they might switch back to the closed lost. Here, close is a two types. When we go to the closed has a two types of closed. One is closed all, that means everything is processed perfectly. The second one is closed lost. That means either the person has dropped it or the bank has dropped it. Or we can say that documents are not good. We do not have documents. So closed has a two options, either closed on or closed lost. Right? So this is the process. This is the process for. This is a process, or this is a cycle, or this is a sales cycle. This is a sales cycle. So every business has this cycle. Whatever you take a business, every business has certain process. Every business has certain process. Now, here the comes in. Now you are an executive, okay? Every month end, you have to give a report to your manager. Every month end, you have to give a report to manager, submit a report to manager. When you are submitting a report to manager, does it looks good if you say that 10 members are in initial discussion, 10 members are loan approved, 10 members are documentation verified? No, it won't be. Just a second. So if we give a person the data, initial, these many members are there, document collection for these members, right? The target is, for example, the person has a target of 50 members. We need to target 50 members. Now, if the executive gives out of 15, 2 members are in initial discussion, 2 members are in documentation, does it look good? It doesn't look good. Basically, at the high level managers or whoever is the CEO, those always look at the report in terms of a percentage. In terms of percentage, they need it. They don't want the data. Sometimes they need the data. That is a different story. But most of the time, they look at the percentage. Most of the time, they look at the percentage. So that's the reason. Every business has this process, and this process will be divided into the percentage, For example, if it is an initial discussion, that means initial discussion is done, means 10% is done, or we are doing the initial discussion. That means 10% of the work we are doing on it. Visit, that is, assume the 20%. Now, understanding the requirement, that means 40% work. Document collected, half of the work is done. Document verification, 70%, that means more than half of the percent work is done. Loan approval, almost there. We just need to, we have approved it. We need to just release the loan. 95%, almost there. The person has to accept this loan or take the loan. Then it will go to the closed, right? If it go to the closed loss, then we will say 0%. Now, if I give the percentage, like a 70% for the 5 members, right? 95%, almost there for 10 members. So based on this, the person, the manager can understand. They look at the number here because the target is 100%. Target is 100%. So they will look at this and they will monitor and they will give you the more information, right? Based on this percentage. If there is anything in the 10%, then they might question how member, for example, 10%, we have a 5 members. So manager can question why they are in a 5, why there are 5 members are in 10%, what is happening? And give me the data, when we did started, when the started and when it is ended, right? These all information they will ask based on the percentage. So this is not only the bank, every business has this kind of a percentage, because based on this percentage, they wanted to see the revenue growth. They wanted to see how much profit they are getting it. Quarterly, monthly, yearly, how can we increase the revenue? How can we increase the, whatever the members are coming, clients are coming, everything will be monitored based on this. Based on this data will be monitored. So this is called sales cycle or opportunity cycle or sales pipeline. This is called sales cycle, opportunity cycle, sales pipeline. We call sometimes sales cycle, we call sometimes opportunity cycle, we call sometimes sales pipeline, right? Based on the product, based on the project, the terms changes. If you are selling it, it's called sales cycle. If you are talking about, if you are collecting the, if you are contacting the customer, right, where you are monitoring the data in the system, we call opportunity cycle. And for sales also we call sales pipeline. Similarly, whatever the other business we have, same format, it is there in the Salesforce. It is there in the Salesforce, but Salesforce by default giving the sales pipeline. By default, Salesforce has provided the sales pipeline. What are those? Prospecting, qualification, need analysis, value proposition, identity decision maker, perception analysis, proposal price quote, negotiation review, closed won, close lost. Now, is this fixed? No, it is not fixed. Based on your product, this pipeline might change, right? But by default, Salesforce is providing these options. By default, Salesforce is providing these 10 options. Now you can change it based on your product. You can change it. Prospect qualification is nothing but both are same, right? So you can change it. You can combine both of them and you can use one word here, prospect / qualification. So we have all flexibility to change these options. But by default, when you go to the Salesforce, when you open the new org, new Salesforce org, you will see in the opportunity, these are the different sales pipeline provided by the Salesforce. Where can we see? We can see in the opportunity. We can see in the opportunity. By default, Salesforce providing these options. By default, Salesforce is providing these options. Now, how it is going to work in the opportunity cycle? How those are the 10 different pipelines are there, right? 10 are there. Now, which one is a 10%, which one is a 20%? It's also customizable. But by default, how Salesforce is giving? Salesforce is providing the opportunity cycle. First, it is prospecting, and then qualification, and then need analysis. We have to do more analysis on that. Then value proposition and identity decision maker. We are going to take a decision whether the person is going to pay or not, how much money he has to pay, whether he is ready to pay or not. Perception analysis. We'll do some perception analysis. Proposal price quote. We will propose a price quote. And then negotiation. Once the negotiation dealing is done with the customer, either we go to the sales closed on, or we will go to the closed lost. Now here prospecting is 10%. Qualification is also 10%. We can combine prospecting, qualification. Basically these two, whenever the customer or the executive dealing with the customer, both will happen together, prospecting and qualification. And then need analysis, where it is 20%, value proposition 50%, identity decision maker 60%, perception analysis 70%, proposal price quote 75%, negotiation 90%, closed on 100%. If it is a close loss, it goes to the 0%. Now, this is sales cycle or opportunity cycle or sales pipeline. Now, who will be deciding this percentage in Salesforce? We will be deciding it. Whoever is implementing the cycle, whoever is building the product, they will be internal Salesforce team will be deciding how much percentage it has to be there. How much percentage it has to be there. Let's go back to the Salesforce. Let's see. Now here, click on the opportunity. Now let's switch to the Sales Cloud. Click on App Manager. View all. Sales application. Now let's click on opportunity. Now when we click on an opportunity, right, we have converted some leads to the opportunity. Let me open this. So for opportunity also, if you want to create it, you can create it. By default, a new button is available here. You can click on this. When you click on the new button, you will see the mandatory option, which is called as a opportunity name, close date, the stage, close date, the stage. Stage is nothing but sales cycle. Sales cycle. In Salesforce, on the opportunity, we have a field called stage. Stage is nothing but sales cycle, opportunity cycle, opportunity cycle. So opportunity cycle is whatever we have discussed: prospecting, qualification, need analysis, value proposition, ID decision maker, right? Then perception analysis, proposal or a price quote, negotiation or review, closed on or closed lost. All the life cycle steps, all the opportunity cycle steps are available in the stage. Now click on the edit object here, click on setup, click on edit object to navigate to the opportunity. I wanted to go to the opportunity fields. In order to go to the opportunity fields, I'm clicking on the edit object here. I'm clicking on the edit object. Why it is taking a minute? Okay. I'm clicking on the edit object. So it will go to the object manager. By default, it goes to the opportunity. Now let's click on a fields and relationship. Now let's look at the field called stage. Field called stage. Now here you see prospecting, API name, prospecting, qualification, API name, qualification, need analysis, API name is need analysis, value proposition, API name is value proposition, Decision maker, API name is also decision maker. Perception analysis, API name is also perception analysis. Proposal price code, API name is also proposal price code. Negotiation, review, closed won, closed lost. Now the type, look at the type. Till this point, opportunity is open. Till this point, opportunity is open. Type is open. When you go to the closed own, then type will change to the closed/own. If you change the option, if you change the pick list value to the closed lost, the type is closed lost. Now here you see the probability. You see the probability. What is the probability here? Probability is, this is the field, another field we have, but let's understand here. Okay, 10%. We are deciding this prospect is 10%. Qualification 10%. Now, if you wanted to make a changes, go ahead and edit it. Edit that particular pick list value. And here the pipeline is 10%. Now I wanted to make a changes of 15%. Click on save. Click on save. Now the probability is says 10%, 15% qualification, need analysis 20%, value proposition 50%, ID decision maker 60%, perception analysis 70%, proposal price quote 75%, negotiation review 90%, closed own 100%, closed lost 0%. Now, these all are in pipeline. Forecast category is pipeline. When you say closed own is nothing, but it is actually the closed. The pipeline has closed. The sales pipeline is closed. Till this point, it is a pipeline, sales pipeline, opportunity pipeline, opportunity cycle, sales pipeline. Now, till this point, it is a pipeline. Forecast category is pipeline. As soon as you change to closed own, forecast category is changed to closed. If it is a closed lost, that means omitted. We don't. It is, that means we are either we rejected or they rejected it. It is a 0%. Now, this is the stage, right? Stage is a pick list. Stage is a pick list. Stage is the field label. The API name is stage name. The API name is stage name. Available pick list values 10. Maximum how many pick list values we can add? 500. Maximum 500 pick list values we can add it. If you want to inactivate a pick list value, for example, I do not want a qualification here. I do not want a qualification. So what I'll do, I'll deactivate it. I'll do deactivate. When I click on a deactivate, what will happen? Are you sure? Yes. So when okay, so it is deactivated here. Inactive values. That means whatever the values are there, what are the pick list values in the inactive values, we cannot see. We no more see the pick list value on the opportunity. We cannot see the, if I go to the stage. If I go to the stage. Okay, so let's click on App Manager. Let's click on a View All. App Launcher, View All, Sales Application. Opportunity. Let's click on a New. Now, if you see the stage, is it showing the qualification? No. So prospecting, need analysis, value proposition. So based on the project, based on the whatever the requirement you have, whatever the requirement we got it from the client, based on that, we will arrange it. As soon as I deactivate this, immediately it shows here inactive pick list values are 1. Inactive pick list values are 1. Now, this is how you will be deciding. So basically, client will be providing what are the opportunity cycle, what are the sales cycle, what is the sales pipeline. So client will be providing those information. So when client provide the information, either you can create a new one. Here, click on a new one. Okay. Click on the new button. So where are we right now? I'm into the field and relationship. Which field I am in? Stage. Field name is stage name, right? Now here on this pick list value, these are the sales cycle. Let's assume that client says that I need initial discussion value also. There is a no initial discussion, pick list value is not there. I need that. Along with this information, I need initial discussion also. So what I'll do is I click on a new button. When I click on a new button, it will ask what is the stage name. I'll say that initial discussion. Initial discussion. Now probability, I'll put it as a 5%. Type, yes, it is a open. We have a three options in the type. Open, closed won, closed lost. But for us, it is a open. Now forecast category, there are these many are there. Pipeline, omitted, commit, close, best case. So we will say pipeline. Now, you can write a description about this pick list value, initial conversation with customer. Now I'll click on save. I'll click on save. Now where it is added at the down. It is added at the bottom of the pick list values. Now if I go and click on the new button, where is the initial discussion option is visible? Let's refresh. Okay. Initial discussion option is showing at the bottom, but it has to be on the top before the prospecting, because this is the 5%. This is the first discussion that happens. Then 10%, then 20%, then 50%, 60%. Now, how can I rearrange these pick list values? So after the new button, there is one option called reorder. Click on the reorder. Click on reorder. Select this initial discussion. Go on to the top and click on save. Click on save button. Now here initial discussion is showing 5%, prospecting is showing 10%, need analysis is showing 20%. Now new opportunity, let's refresh. Click on new button. So stage, we have an initial discussion on top, right? As soon as I select the initial discussion, see here the probability. Immediately it shows the probability. If I change this to prospecting, probability is 10%. If I select the need analysis, probability is 20%. So probability is a field. It is a field. And it is directly linked. This is probability is a field and it is directly linked with stage. It is directly linked with stage value. Whatever the value is, we are selecting it. Based on that, the probability value gets changed. So it is based on it is directly linked with the sales, directly linked with the stage pick list value, stage pick list value. So if in case if the client wants to change it, it is a need analysis. Let's assume that if I'm changing that to the value proposition, it is a 50% by default, but they are like next one is having a 60%, right? This is a 50%. Now they are between the 50 to 60. They are between the 50 to 60. So I'll give it as a 55. Client can make a changes. It's not a read only field. Probability is edit field. If they want, they have an option to edit it. They can edit it. Right? So this is how we see the information. This is how we see the information. Let's go to the existing one. Now, here, let me clear this. Now, initial discussion is nothing but where we are having a initial discussions. Now, next one, prospecting. That means it is a, basically it is stage is prospecting and probability is 10%. It is a very early stage in the pipeline. It is very early stage. Prospecting is very early stage. Like if we are developing the more information, getting the more information about the right product, and we are giving the more information about the product. So basically it is early discussions with the customer, right? Like a budget discussion or a time scale, or otherwise we are educating the person. Whatever they are looking at the product, along with that we wanted to sell another product. So we have to educate the person. So education, everything does in the early stage. Right, next one we have a need analysis or discovery. Right, what is this? To understand the customer need. To understand the customer need, like identifying the all stakeholders or influencing them to buy another one. Right, so these all things will happen. Now after that decision they will take it, then we will do the proposal, customer evaluating, our customer receives our proposal. Then we will do the negotiation. When we are doing the negotiation based on the proposal, we will give the, based on the proposal, whether the customer is ready to pay or not, everything will be discussed there. If the customer is doing some negotiation on the price or on the product or any other things, we will do more information. We will do basically discussion on the negotiation or a review. Then based on that, we will change the option to closed. Now directly you can select it, mark the stage as closed. Now when you clicked on a closed, what will happen? Select the closed stage, because here it does not show the closed won or closed lost. It doesn't say closed won or closed lost. It is just saying the closed. Now select it. If the person is closed on, perfect, let's save it, then it will be saved. If closed lost, that means the person has lost it. Now I'll change it to lost. Now what happened? It is changed. Now if I wanted to know, the person has again came back, he paid the amount, everything, revenue or everything is done, the bill is generated and bill is paid, everything is done, then everything will be in the green. Any questions on the opportunity? Okay, let's move on to the questions. What is an opportunity? Post-sale activity, pre-sale activity, or any prospective deal are called as opportunity.
Any prospective deal are called opportunities.
Any prospective deal are called opportunity. Question. What are default sales pipeline in Salesforce?
Yeah, 10.
Prospecting, qualification, need analysis, value proposition, identification makers,
Identification makers,
exception analysis,
negotiation,
proposal
analysis,
notes,
proposal,
Second one.
price quote, negotiation,
Second one.
Second one, because it has a closed on and closed lost. Is it possible to modify the opportunity stage? What are the stages?
Yes.
Are there?
Yes.
How can we modify it?
We can go to the object.
Go to the object, edit object, and go to the stage,
Edit.
and go to fields and fields and relationships, then we can edit them.
Fields and relationship, find the field,
Field.
which are the field you
Field.
wanted to make a change, stage field here. Then we can edit the stages. What is probability field on opportunity? It is a field, or the probability field is directly linked to the stage or value selected.
The probability.
Is selected. Probability field is directly linked to the stage values.
The second one. Okay. No. Any questions?
So no,
Yes, Archana.
yeah, I saw that there is one forecast called commit. You told us about pipeline and this one final one, right? But what is commit? What do you mean by commit?
Sorry?
There is one forecast called commit.
Mhm.
What do you mean by commit? There is pipeline and there is commit as well. What
By
is the meaning
default,
of
we can
commit?
select it, pipeline, closed, omitted. These are the three usually we use it. Committed is nothing but almost equal to closed.
Ah, okay. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? If there are no questions, that's all for our session today.